Bring on 48 hours on the Fylde Coast.
Is it a half set sort of thing or a full set sort of thing? Full set to take this thing seriously.
In these videos, there's always me searching for sandwiches and coffees and Tom grinding. So just hits and balls, you weren't even here to film it. This is why my warm-up is coffee and bacon sandwiches. So I have to do all this stuff.
Look at this is thoracic.
I have never been to Fairhaven, no. Always wanted to come here. Looks like a bit of an inland links in style. Looks a bit heathland in parts as well. He's a braid design, so it should be pretty fun.
What you need to get in your head about this area is, let me tell you, is that people think of England's Gulf Coast as one destination, and it kind of is an amalgamation of, I think, at least 3 separate golf trips. So you've got a definite Wirral trip with Hoylake and Wallasey and Caldy. Then you have a Southport trip, which would be Southport and Ainsdale, Birkdale, Hillside. And then you've got this trip, which is the Fylde Coast, which is quite a bit further north. And the kind of hotspot here is Royal Lytham, and then this place, St Annes, Old Links, and Fleetwood, which is sort of very unheralded. And they are definitely 3 separate trips. I think if you're coming from America right enough, you're probably trying to play the Royal venues. But I think for a British golfer coming up to this area, you can justify definitely more than one trip up here. It used to have 365 bunkers, I was reading, but they've filled loads of them in, thankfully. We've still got over 100.
Historically, the reputation of the clubhouse is that they have a bunker for every day of the year.
Yeah.
When you look back at the historical review of the golf course, it was originally sited at Fairhaven Lake, and in 1924 moved over to its current site. And because the piece of land was naturally quite flat, obviously they've created those humps and hollows. Originally they were quite open sand pieces. I think obviously, like a lot of golf courses, that's not sustainable. So they've just gradually become more, I'd say, more grass bunkers.
So I'd say the routing of this golf course is quite interesting. It's almost Muirfield-esque in that you're going round in like concentric circles. The wind's picked up a little bit, so every shot that we've got is kind of in a different direction, so you've got to factor the wind in.
It's a back flag. I think it's quite hard to describe in terms of character, actually. It's like a totally unique thing, and it definitely goes through stages of kind of very definitely a heathland, but then more parklandy bits. I sort of read on the website that they're kind of describing it as a playing like a links. I think it probably does, actually.
By definition, it's a links. You know, if you dig down, you're on 4 or 5 metres of sand underneath.
It's a very unique experience. I think this is a course you'll love to play day in, day out. You know, as you saw when you probably came into the club, you're coming through a housing estate. You come onto the first tee and you never see a house after that.
Make sure you put that in the edit. You always put the bad ones in. Coffee number 2 of the day. Halfway house at Fairhaven was delightful, James, thank you. This is kind of a perfect summary of Fairhaven because we're inland, but it looks extremely linksy. You've got a collection of like pot bunkers in front of the green on this little par 3 that could be at home on any links golf course. Then you've got surrounded by trees at the back, and plenty of kind of gorse bushes going on. So it's got a bit of everything really. But that could be anywhere. That could be a dawn, it could be anywhere if you remove the trees at the back. It's probably a really good place for a trip as well, isn't it? Because you've got the 4 courses we're playing, I would say, are all a little bit different, aren't they?
I think that's one of its great selling points. These are all great courses in the area and not too distant. They are all quite unique.
That was good. It's a very just so sort of finish, isn't it? With the clubhouse sort of set back. It's very sort of quintessentially English kind of thing. I think it sort of sums up the whole place, actually. That it's just a lovely place to be, isn't it? The most predictable thing in the world, wasn't it?
Well played, Tom. Enjoyed that. Well played. Yeah.
It's lovely, that. I really enjoyed that.
We've been at this club for 5 minutes. Already bought some merch.
Get your open venue face on.
Royal Lytham. Open venue. Ready to go quite low. I think I'm going to challenge Tom to a bit of a match this afternoon. all the stuff from Bobby Jones. They opened here in 1926.
Well, the history is very rich here, and it's ingrained within the building. So 1886 Golf Club was formed. 1897, 11 years later, they built this one and only clubhouse. Obviously a couple of alterations between there. Had an official opening in 1898. First opened 1926. We celebrate 100 years of open history next year in 1926. So that's the official photo of Bobby Jones going back with the American, and they call themselves the American Posse. Al Watrous is this chap. Al Watrous, he came second runner-up to Bobby Jones in 26, and his great-grandson is now a member here. That's the only known signed Tom Morris player. Seriously.
Well, that's an original.
That's an original, and he signed that in 1890 when he played here in the first professional golf tournament held anywhere in England.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. And because I think this is a bit of a charm of any golf club, probably a priceless piece of golf history. It sits on a pin nail and a piece of string. We're a golf club, and we want people to enjoy our golf club.
So what you're saying, it's not,
charm.
if I lift that off the wall, then there's no complex alarms going to go off, there's no red beams everywhere.
No, you'll be okay.
I'll make a ninja escape.
It's the sign that you're going to have to take a picture of when you come to Royal Lytham. Right, so playing, loser has to go on the big one. It's like one of the biggest roller coasters in Europe. Tom's pretty scared of it, so he doesn't want to go, so he obviously thinks he's going to beat me.
It's a scratch medal. I'll do match play now, that's massively in his favour because he's very erratic.
I think match play.
What's it got to do with you? Alright, match play. In terms of the golf holes, so if you forget about what's around it, and I sort of understand it hasn't got the sort of views of a Portrush, and it potentially hasn't got the kind of spectacular dunes of a Birkdale or even a Georges, I think it's an unbelievably exacting test of golf, and it's incredibly strategic, incredibly well bunkered. It's always in absolute mint condition, regardless of what time of year you come. And I think, I would think this is in my top three, probably alongside Muirfield and Primary Steve.
Back to one down. I've not been to Lytham since they made the changes to 6 and 7, and we're just on 7 now. There used to be like a big kind of woodland area-ish on this left-hand side on both holes, and it has opened it up right the way along the left-hand side. It's all the better for it, and to be honest, it looks like it was never there. It just bedded in absolutely beautifully. So even these kind of elite trophy venues, if you like, they're always kind of tinkering to make the golf course better, and this is a great example of some work that they've done that has really done that. Back in the game.
When people say why is it harder, like how is the test of golf more difficult, the bunker's just one after the other down this left hand side. I can't hit it any better, and then you've got your next shot 25 yards, because once you're in the bunkers, they're not like flat American style, get an 8 or a 9 iron out. You just sort of pitching out and making sure you don't hit it in the face.
This hole is my 8th hole on my eclectic 18 that I've done. I just think it looks like absolutely mega from up here as well.
What's the word? It's not underrated. It's just unloved, I think, would be the best way of describing it. Like, people don't have loads of affection for it. Mainly, I think, because of what's around it rather than the golf course itself. And it is like extremely penal, extremely well bunkered. It's like a proper strategic golf course, particularly that stretch along the railway, which I just think is some of the best holes in golf.
I'm one up. We're now turning back into the wind for most of the stretch on the way in. Tom's definitely better into the wind than me, so.
Justice, that is. Look at the shape of it. It's like an absolutely beautiful sort of arc around this nest of bunkers. You've got to play out to the right, and then the shape just sort of continues, almost kind of doubling back on itself. It's one of the world's best par fours.
We're on the 15th tee. I'm one up, but feeling a little tired. But this is a proper golf course, like such a great test. Every shot, you've got to be on it. So it does give you some chances, but like if you're not on it, if you're not striking the ball well, it just eats you alive. But it's just a beautiful test for golf.
Right, up the last we go. One down, one to play.
Right, so playing, loser has to go on the big one.
Shall I get a tattoo? What? I'm so pleased that the big one's closed.
Second option for the forfeit was to go at Blackpool Tower because he doesn't really like heights either. That's shut. So I'm going to have to find him something to do. I'm so happy right now. This is where they raise the claret jug. So I won our match today, so this is where I'm going to raise my gin.
Nicely.
Right, we're on day 2. Headed to St Annes Old Links, then to Fleetwood. We've got coffee, most importantly. It's a bit breezy. There's a big dipper that Tom should have been on last night. But we're at St Annes Old Links. I have been here quite a few times actually. I'm struck by how well conditioned it is. Plays really well all year round.
So pleased that was closed last night. Yeah, that was much more my sort of level, yeah. Quite sedate. A little bit of churning in the stomach. Thank you. Uber Eats for coffee this morning. That is next level, isn't it?
There we go, the coffee handover again.
He's good at that, isn't he? Hello, yeah, it's the... Can I get the sun, please, on the phone? Yeah, you've forgotten again. I haven't had any time for any stretching. So I don't think I've played here before. So that's the first for the 48 hours in series. And I've been looking forward to coming here because everyone whose opinion I respect always says it's really good.
Well, there's a bit of a theme with these videos where I wake up and instantly need coffee, which is true of almost every day of my life. And we're often up very early to film these, so there's nowhere open. Tom, today, as I got out of bed, there was a muck delivery of coffee.
It's exceptionally well set up bunkers wise, and then another good green complex up here. So far so good, I would say. It's a birdie. I never make birdies. There's something about this kind of golf where the golf feels like it's part of the town and it's just sort of for the people to use, and it's sort of an unforeseen, all the better experience for it. And this is like a prototype for it.
Check my bank statement after a night in Blackpool. Spent £7 on about 10 cola balls, and then there was a few transactions of getting change in those arcades. Also a bad decision.
Another birdie. Oh, great. 2 birdies.
Birdie!
At Ely I said birdie brothers and then regretted it ever since. You birdie brothers. You have to do some sort of alarm now because we're on the signature hole. Signature hole, signature hole.
This is a brilliant par 3. They class it as their signature hole, I guess, but it's an extremely narrow green. It's almost crude and bay-esque when you get up there.
We've had really strong comments from Bobby Jones way back in the day. Couldn't be improved on. We think we have recently, probably taking it back to how he saw it with the grassy paths all the way around it and extending that pathway. Peter Alice loved it. He put it in his top 10 par 3s.
Well, to be fair, it's a pretty cool green site, isn't it? You're always sort of a bit sceptical about these matters, aren't we? But this is a good one.
It's been interesting playing it with Tom, really, because he's not played it before and he's very complimentary about the design aspect of it.
It's been a bit of a surprise to me actually about the sort of, not the quality of the turf, but just the quality of the holes. Like one after the other has just been brilliantly set up. There's another extremely well bunkered hole. It's a very, very, very fair golf course. Like another sort of favourite thing of mine is it's pretty flat, isn't it? There's elevation change around the greens, and there's big runoffs around the greens, but the playing areas themselves are very level, which I think is always kind of makes for a much better golf course when you're not dealing with big elevation change.
Yeah, the sea's there, you can see it, so you're still on that proper links land. Literally the link between the sea and the land, and as a consequence it is pretty flat. The hills we've got are used for the 9th and the 18th, but that's all we've got really.
Yeah, it's a fascinating thing that the link between here and Royal Lytham, and how the two clubs have basically, Royal Lytham started here or nearly here, and then moved up the road.
Well, they certainly finished here because this was their original turn, and the name Old Links comes from the fact that it was their old links, if you will, which obviously we've hung on to.
I think it's just my sort of place. That's the problem. It's difficult for me to be massively objective about it, because I think it's so well presented as a links course. Like they've obviously they must have done quite a lot of course management, because it's such a freeing place to play golf. Like you can see the shapes of the hole, and the rough is penal, but you find your ball, so it kind of like allows you to open your shoulders. I think it's on a tiny parcel of land, so it doesn't feel like a big walk. There's plenty going on around the greens. There's some wow moments around the greens, right, in terms of the green complexes. It just feels like a golf course that's like really well put together and by someone who knows what they're doing. And if you kind of, obviously it's a bit compromised by houses and fences and airports and fairground rides, but the golf course itself is brilliant. Thank you, James. That was excellent. Well played.
Played, Tom. That was brilliant. Very well played.
I'll win some sort of award that for World's Strangest Drive, hasn't it? It's just driving along Blackpool Fun thinking, is this my life now? I was driving past relentless arcades forevermore. Fleetwood Golf Club, home to some of the world's best turf, you'll be pleased to know. People tell us it's in amazing condition. It's in this little sort of parcel of land between that road there and that seawall there. I think it'll be really good, This trip's basically been like the gentlemen and the workers, hasn't it? You've got the two clubs yesterday, which are very much the sort of aristocrats of the area, and then here and St Annes Old Links this morning, I think, sort of unashamedly, much more the kind of artisan clubs in the area, they're sort of the clubs of the people. And I think you'll find when we play here today that the golf courses are really no worse for it at all.
I have never been to Fleetwood Golf Club before. Heard lots of good things. Everyone on this trip that we've spoken to at the various clubs has been very complimentary of Fleetwood, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. This is the oldest golf course in England. Yeah, it is. No, Royal North Devon, the pro Dan was telling me, Royal North Devon wrote to this golf club a few years ago because of them claiming it, but the R&A confirmed that this is the oldest course, not the oldest club.
Here's a peculiarity of this trip as well. We've played 3 links courses. We haven't seen the sea yet. There it is. That's genuinely quite worrying. Look how much sea there is.
Fleetwood's done a really good job around the greens. Like I've just kind of overdrawn this ball here and it's like ended up down at a pretty severe runoff. But you've still got like options to play up. So like a proper links test. I just think they've done a really good job with probably not the same budget as Royal Lytham and those kind of championship venues, but they've ultimately presented like a really nice golf course and a really good test of your golf.
I think I'm going to get a reputation for being a sponsor of kind of unheralded like workaday links, but if I was choosing where to play golf, like tomorrow and the next day and the next day, it'll be this kind of place. There's something in the unfussiness, there's something in the fact it hasn't been toughened up for a championship, there's something in the fact that it's kind of gives you a chance every now and again, and we're playing it today in like a 20-mile-an-hour wind, but we've both made a few birdies and it hasn't embarrassed you, and I just think that that's what golf's all about, isn't it?
This hole's named after one of the founding members, Seymour.
What's it called?
The Butts.
Seymour Butts, nice. I think the thing about arranging golf trips, and obviously we're doing that a lot, is there's loads of different things to consider, aren't there? There's like budget, there's travel when you're there, there's accommodation options, you've got to kind of work something that suits everybody. I think the more you go to different places, the more different places have got different advantages, but I do think that this Fylde coastline has got kind of something for everybody. So we played at a Royal, basically a current open venue, certainly somewhere that's steeped in history. So that's your kind of trophy venue for the trip. And then we've been to like a great sort of like really prestigious club in the area in Fairhaven. And then these two kind of links courses that are kind of only 8 or 9 miles apart up this coast that are just brilliant members clubs, brilliant pieces of land, very historical in their own right, but they're taking cost out of the trip, and there's like plenty going on in terms of nightlife. So if you want to go out for like a civilised evening out, Lytham St Annes is lovely. If you want to go out and see a few sights and see a bit of the real world, then head into Blackpool. It is a brilliant destination for a golf trip.
Cheers, mate. Enjoyed that. Yeah, great trip again.
It was mega, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
Sparks. Well done.